All right, what's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about why I purchased $1,000 pickleball paddle. Okay, so when I saw this thing come out, I honestly thought that is ridiculous. And to be honest, I do still think it's ridiculous. And I wasn't gonna buy one, and then I was like, you know what? My entire job revolves around paddles and making content about paddles. So I was like, it probably makes sense to buy it and make some content about it. And if I'm being honest, I also thought I was probably going to be the only content creator that was actually crazy enough to buy this. And then Pickleball Effect and John Q also bought one. So props to you guys for being as crazy as me. The original idea was to make a video about this so you guys could experience it without having to spend or possibly even waste $1,000 on the paddle. All right, so let's go ahead and open this thing up. Got some plastic bubble wrap here. Here is the case. This is the case right here. It's very glossy. If I'm being honest, it feels much cheaper than I was expecting. I would think if you're spending $1,000 that, I don't know, kind of just feels like very plasticky. You kind of press in right here like it's like a little bit of give on my case right there. So that is a little, like that's not great. You're spending $1,000. I figure you could probably do something better than what feels to be like a $20 plastic case, maybe, if that. But it does have some of that gold branding on it that you can see there. And then inside of here, we've got some pictures of Ben with the paddles. See these here. So yeah, those are those pictures right there. And then inside of here, we have the certificate of authenticity. And they actually did something that I said Selkirk Labs should have been doing. And I guess Selkirk Labs kind of turned into something a little bit different than what everyone thought it was going to be. One of my original ideas was that metal card should have the number of the paddle that you received. So if you were 87 out of, 10,000 or however many, they actually did this for the Golden Ben Johns, and mine says 83. And I think they probably sent these in a random order, which is a little disappointing because I purchased mine when there was maybe somewhere between 85 and 91 of these left. I want to say there was 91 left. So it doesn't really make sense that I'm 83 out of 100. I also think John Q was like 14, and he told me he bought when there was like 50-ish left. So I feel like it would have made a lot more sense to ship these in the actual order that they were purchased. I was hoping that mine were going to be within the first 10 or maybe first 15, but whatever. 83 out of 100, I guess it is what it is. But yeah, we have Richard Lee's signature on this, and then, just a certificate of that it's legit, I guess. But then obviously inside of here, we have the real star of the show, which is the actual Golden Ben Johns Perseus. And I will say, I do think it looks pretty nice. The color of this is nice in person. I don't have any complaints about it. Let's see how the grit is. Oh yeah, that's gritty. For $1,000, this better be right up against the legal limit. Yeah, that's it's definitely pretty gritty on mine, but you can see the rest of the branding here. Obviously, we've got Ben's signature on there, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, I have no plans of hitting this. I have no plans of unwrapping this. It is probably going to live inside of this briefcase, or maybe I'll hang it up somewhere, put it in a glass box or something, and, it can be something that just sits in the background of videos. I think the concept of something like this is pretty cool. Do I think it's worth $1,000? Probably not. I'm a pretty frugal guy, so the thought of spending $1,000 for what is essentially a paint job as a signature is a little extreme to me. The only way I was able to actually justify this was because it's part of doing my job, essentially. So if you're just a regular guy, I don't really know why you'd buy this. A couple people have been chatting about it might be worth a lot of money someday, and maybe it will be. I'm not really in the collectibles space, so I don't know how a lot of that tends to go, but I am skeptical that this is going to increase in any significant value, and that's definitely not why I bought it. If for some reason it ever does increase to something crazy, that would be awesome, but I'm just not personally planning on that being the case. I did just notice as well that the butt cap actually has some of the gold branding as well, so that's kind of neat. I didn't know they were going to do that, but that does, make sense. You got to continue the gold branding on this paddle, right? I definitely think for $1,000, they probably could have included a couple other things in here, either done something that was a little bit more than just a paint job with the paddle, or maybe something like a cooler case that holds it, something that's like you could almost display. I really think the case of this is probably like, I don't know, it feels like something I would kind of give to a kid to like go play around with. It doesn't really feel like it's anything super special, and I feel like for $1,000 you should probably be getting something pretty special. Also, if you know anyone who bought these, comment down below and let me know, because again, I thought this made sense for me to buy because it's my job, but for the average Joe, I'm curious what would have been appealing enough to actually buy one of these. So if you do know someone, I'd love to know, what the reason was that they went and purchased it. So yeah, that's about all I've got to say about this paddle. Let me know down in a comment below what you think of this. Do you think it's absolutely ridiculous? Do you think it'll be worth something someday? Do you think we're gonna see more collectible pickleball paddles in the future? Let me know your comments down below, and especially what you think they could have done better with this packaging. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.